everyone. I'm Ethan Liao with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The Marshall Islands Embassy in Taiwan is commemorating their country's victims of American nuclear weapons testing. As Wesley Lewis reports, it's bringing awareness to the dangers of nuclear weapons and strengthening ties between Taiwan and the Marshall Islands.
A Micronesian melody to remember home. These Marshallese students in Taipei are honoring the often forgotten victims of U.S. atomic testing in the Pacific almost 80 years ago. Still dealing with the consequences, the Marshall Islands want to raise awareness of the dangers posed by nuclear energy.
Every Marshallese, every single one of the students here, has relatives who have suffered from the illnesses related to the nuclear testing, myself included.
Then administered by the United States, the Marshall Islands were used as a testing ground for nuclear weapons after World War II. Hundreds of residents were forcibly relocated, and 67 atomic bombs were detonated over a 12-year period. It affected people's health and their surroundings. Making things worse, storm surges are becoming more frequent, and with sea levels rising due to climate change, a concrete dome left by the U.S. that contains radioactive debris threatens to leak into the environment. There are still over 40,000 people living in the Marshall Islands. This event not only commemorates, but also aims to stress the continuing effects of those weapons tests on Marshallese people. And as one of Taiwan's last 12 remaining diplomatic allies, the Pacific Island nation feels that its concerns about nuclear safety resonate strongly here. Among Taiwanese, nuclear energy is a controversial topic, with concerns over its safety ignited by the Fukushima power plant disaster. These Marshallese students believe the lessons from their country's experience might sway debate here.
Not many people know the history, and I think it's very important to know what has happened before so that we don't make the same mistakes now.
It's important for us to share this history, whether it would be with our community or communities abroad.
Every year, no matter how far from home they might be, the people of the Marshalls mark how their islands were damaged by atomic testing. By continuing to tell their story, they hope to see an end to the world's nuclearization. Eason Chen and Wesley Lewis for TaiwanPlus.
A Formosan black bear has been released back into the wild after narrowly missing having to have a paw amputated. Maddie Anstruther has more.
Calling it out by name, these indigenous residents of Taidong County are coaxing a cautious Formosan black bear out of its cage to release it back into the wild. In August last year, a local resident discovered Lanihu caught in a noose trap with a seriously injured foreleg. Authorities took the bear in for treatment. The injury was so bad they were planning to amputate, but in the end, Lanihu's paw was saved. Formosan black bears are Taiwan's only endemic bear species. These protected animals are endangered, with an estimated 200 to 600 individuals living in the wild. Taidong authorities have been working to save the bears and have rescued 7 from traps since 2019. They're cooperating with local indigenous groups who help patrol the mountains for trapped bears.
在尊重原住民传统的狩猎文化的前提之下，能够与部落的族人一起携手来做濒危物种的保育工作。
The government is also encouraging hunters to use more bear-friendly traps to help ensure this iconic animal can continue to roam Taiwan's mountains. Justin Wu and Maddie Anstruther for TaiwanPlus.
Tomato lovers in Taiwan can still keep their favorite produce fresh for up to a year. A tech firm has come up with a method to preserve beef tomatoes way beyond their natural shelf life. Joyce Zhen has this story.
Plump, juicy tomatoes are staying fresh for longer with the help of technology. Taiwan's largest beef tomato supplier has developed a way to extend the shelf life of their produce from about 15 days to 1 whole year.
寒天的时阵吼，咱透过冷链这个技术吼，来甲保存好，他们就会当延长到1年以上，甚至会当来出口去世界各国。
The global frozen food market is valued at about $265 billion US, and demand is rising, as it is a popular alternative to fresh and canned products to save money and cut down on food waste. As Taiwan develops its own flash freezing technology, which freezes the fruit so quickly ice crystals don't get a chance to form inside, the country is hoping to get in on the global market, starting with tomatoes.
这个调节整个番茄的供应的这个系统，那供应呢量多的时候，我们就把它做一些处理，处理之后，这是熊条，只要有个冷链的设备。
Consumers in Taiwan are set to reap the most immediate benefits, having more stable supplies and prices of beef tomatoes year-round. A precedent farmers hope to extend to other fresh goods soon too. Andy Xue and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
New research shows that the risk of lung cancer is more closely linked to genetics than smoking habits. Doctors from the Taipei hospital found that immediate family members of someone with lung cancer, like a parent, child, or sibling, are at particularly high risk. Lung cancer is one of the most common cancers in Taiwan. Doctors are encouraging people to get regular lung screenings as early detection improves chances of survival.
这个基因的表现不是说一两个基因就会造成，它是多个基因的变异的问题所造成的。所以目前还是相关的研究当中啦，只能知道说它是有遗传性。
A Taiwanese orchestra has performed music composed by artificial intelligence. Creators spent 6 months feeding Taiwanese music through an AI training model. Once the model became familiar with Taiwanese musical styles, it wrote a composition which was then performed by human musicians. The orchestra worked with a technology company from Luxembourg on the project. Scientists in South Korea have developed a new kind of meat product hidden in plain sight. Chris Gorin has the story.
Rice, a main staple and comfort food to much of the world. But there's more to this than meets the eye. Inside each and every grain is beef. But no animals were harmed in the making of the dish. This is part of the rapidly expanding field of cultivated meat, grown in labs, not farms. Scientists at South Korea's Yonsei University treat the rice with enzymes to create an optimal environment for infusing and growing meat cells, creating a hybrid plant-animal product without slaughtering any animals.
저희가 지금 만든 딱 요 쌀의 경우에 그냥 쌀에 비해서 한 8% 정도 많은 단백질과 7% 정도 많은 지방을 함유하고 있습니다. 근데 이제 그 단백질 안에서도 약 18% 정도가 어떤 동물성 단백질로 확인이 되었습니다.
Cultivated meat not only has the potential to reduce ethical concerns around meat production, but environmental ones as well. Multiple studies show that greenhouse gas emissions from meat production are nearly double that from plant-based agriculture. And the vast share of these emissions come from raising cows for beef and dairy, due in part to practices such as deforestation to make room for grazing land. But are people willing to eat lab-grown meat rice? Customers who have tried the rice at this restaurant in Seoul are giving mixed reviews.
I'm actually a huge fan of that, to be honest.
기발하신 것 같은데 제 생각에는 소고기의 뭐 육즙이나 식감 같은 거를 따라올 수는 없을 것 같아요.
Cultivated meat is still in its early stages of development. But as scientists refine the process and aim to match the nutritional value of animal products, they hope that eventually, more consumers may be willing to join the herd. James Lin and Chris Gorin for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website and follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before we go, come with us to South Africa, where lions rescued from Ukraine have been released into a sanctuary. I'm Ethan Liao. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
For more stories from here in Taiwan and around the world, be sure to check out our social media or visit us at TaiwanPlus.com.